Hey y'all, it's your girl Bria Danielle, and I am back. Your girl is back. I had to take a little hiatus. I come today to tell y'all where I've been and why I took my little hiatus and what's going on to catch you up. So I'm gonna keep it 100. I planned on quitting this whole thing. I planned on quitting the blog and I planned on quitting the YouTube channel. And that's because, I don't know if you watched my other videos before, but I'm a quitter. When things get a little hard, I quit them and I move on to the next thing. And I saw a lot of support at the beginning when I first dropped my blog. I dropped my blog and my YouTube August 1st. And I was consistent for that first 5 weeks. And after the third week, I saw a significant change in support for the worst. It was like, which I guess I get, and I already know that, you pique people's interest when you first start something new, and then it goes down, and then you kind of plateau, and then, slowly grow, which I already knew, but it didn't change like the way that it made me feel. Also because simultaneously I was seeing just a bunch of people around me like start ventures of their own, and they were continually being successful, and I felt like I kind of felt some fatigue happening because of what I do. I don't know if I've explained, but I'm a communication specialist by profession, and a lot of the skills that I use on a day-to-day basis for work are directly translated, and I'm transferred skills that I use to write my blog, edit my blog, my email campaigns, create graphics, record and edit my YouTube videos. These skills that I use for my job, and I was also using after work for pretty much the same significant amount of time as for work. So it was weighing a lot on me, and that spending that amount of time and not seeing I wasn't seeing a benefit in sight, because there was no monetary benefit. I started my blog so that I could prove to myself that I could start it, and I did that. So past that, I was just like, okay, let's continue this growth and see if I can land some sort of monetary value from it. Who was expecting to see that in 5 weeks? I don't know. I wasn't, but it just was a whole bunch of things culminating all in at once that had me pretty discouraged, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll move to the next thing. I was just like, I'll just move to the next thing. But that next thing, which I had already planned on doing, was applying to grad school, which that actually took let me back up. It actually ended up being a good thing that I put the blog stuff on the back burner, because around mid-October is when I started the process for applying to grad school. And it actually ended up being not stressful, but just an involved process. You have to write an essay. You have to reach out to people and see if they're willing to write you a letter of recommendation. Kind of have to follow up with those people to make sure that you get your stuff on time. You got to make sure you get your transcripts. You got to make sure you do this, do that, you get your financial aid in place. And I actually am still going through that process. It's just a lot of things that you have to do in order to get to submitting the application, and then is the suspense and waiting and finding out whether you're admitted or not. Go me. I was admitted to the Emerging Media Master of Arts program at Loyola University. So in January next month, I will be starting my journey towards earning my master's. Really quickly, I just want to circle back to the reason why I was taking a hiatus from the YouTube page. in my blog. And it's what I call the comparison demon, is what I have dubbed the feeling and sensation that I get from being discouraged from seeing my peers surpass me, which, yeah, I put in quotes because they're not surpassing me. They're on their journey and I'm on my journey, which I know. But sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, or your mind just wants to see or follow one narrative at a certain time, and that's what happens. So the comparison demon is what I have dubbed that feeling and sensation that you get from looking at others and then stacking yourself up against them. And I learned through these few months, and just over time, even before this happened, that there are three main things that contribute to or enhance the feeling or sensation or whatever of comparison. And those three things are, I have notes, yes I do. Those three things are constant social media usage, unrealistic expectations, and lack of faith. The constant use of social media is becoming a norm. It's a part of our regular daily schedule, and what we don't realize, well, we realize it, but it's not at the forefront of our mind when we're scrolling through these apps, is that on social media you are only seeing what people want you to see, which is more than likely the good things that are happening in their lives, which I call, and I've heard called, the highlight reel. So you're pretty much only seeing the highlight reel of people's lives. So the constant use of social media, it feeds that comparison demon, because all you're seeing is the best things that are happening in people's lives. Or you're not even necessarily seeing the best things. You're seeing you're seeing the image that they put together and put out, which might not necessarily be what is actually going on. Or even if it is, you don't know what has led up to that person being able to get to that point. So the constant use of social media, it feeds that comparison demon, because you're always seeing the good things. So it's like, damn, and you know that in your real life, it's not always good things happening, or the good things are coming slower for you. So you're comparing yourself to that person's highlight reel. I would say that the second main trigger to this comparison demon consuming someone, and myself especially, is unrealistic expectations. In this world that we're in, is need it fast, get it fast. And it's led people to need and want and desire instant gratification from things. Like I said, what was I expecting to see in 5 weeks of doing the blog and YouTube? I don't know. And I already know that is an unrealistic expectation, to see some sort of, I don't know, like I said. But it's not just me, just in general, my generation, the generation after me, and just even the ones before me, just because we've adapted these advances in technology that make things come quicker, we have grown to expect things to come fast and to come quickly when things take time. The truth is that all good things come through work and time. So that comparison to someone having, to you seeing someone else have something that you may want, is you feel like if you do something similar to them, that you want what they have instantly, when it takes time. You're not going to. So that unrealistic expectation that you will get something or achieve a goal faster than the creator wants you to is only gonna lead to disappointment every time. Unrealistic expectations only lead to disappointment. Third trigger, I'll say, to that comparison demon consuming you is a lack of faith. I believe I spoke in a previous YouTube video about believing in yourself, and you having to believe in you more than anyone else. And it's true. having a lack of faith in what you're pursuing, becoming successful, will lead to it not becoming successful, because you manifest the things that you think and that you say out loud. You manifest them because that lack of faith and that disbelief in yourself is in your spirit. So it will end up coming out, as energy is transferable. And so that lack of faith, that energy will end up making whatever you don't want to happen actually happen, because you don't have the faith and to believe in yourself and believe in your product, or believe in whatever you're putting out, that it will become successful. And that is what I was struggling with. I was telling myself that I could do that I could do it, but I always put a but on it. But I never know. I'm one in a million people that are trying to do this, so it's likely that it won't pop off for me. I kept telling myself that, and then I was like, oh look, see, my numbers are going down drastically. See, I'm proving myself right. I'm proving myself right that it's not gonna work. And I was like, well, I'll just quit it. But that's not the way that you should be. And I feel like knowing these three main triggers that end up having you compare yourself to others can help you combat it in the future. I'm going to grad school, and that's all I care about right now. Read my most recent blog. By the time this video comes up, my most recent blog will also be up on my page, which I have not posted a blog since early September, I believe. But I plan on getting back on track with that. And also posting to YouTube more regularly. So check in the description box, and it will take you right over to my blog page, where you can read the blog on the comparison demon, and look out for more YouTube content. Follow me at the Reverie blog on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you. Bye guys.